Hello there, my name is Ben Starkey, Director of Learning for PE at Chobham Academy. We are applying for the Excellence in Physical Education Innovation Award for our work with Solo Taxonomy. We opened in September and we felt this was a perfect opportunity for us to adopt a new pathway to help students progress with their learning. Students have taken it on really well, they fully understand the whole principles behind the taxonomy and how it can help with their progress. We've started to share this taxonomy collaboratively with other departments around the country. We've had schools come in and visit to see how we've adopted the approach within practical lessons. Within the school itself, the dance department have taken this on board as part of their dance programme, and science have taken a loose approach to adopting the taxonomy too. We feel this is working really well and will continue to develop as the school goes on this journey.
I have no idea about the topics or the skills that we're learning.
I have one idea of the topic and skills that we're learning.
I have several ideas of the topics and skills that we're learning.
I have several ideas that can link them together to improve.
I know all the ideas and can link it to each other and evaluate other people's work.
Alright Priscilla, what is it that you've been using in PE?
We've been using the Solo Taxonomy and it helps us to know where we are and where we need improvements, and yeah.
How do you think the posters help you?
It helps us because it goes from when you know ideas until you know a lot, so you can put where you want and where you feel to be.
Good, alright. And how does it help you progress throughout the lesson?
It helps me progress because I focus on the next one up and then I try to do the things so I can go on that level.
Well done.
What's your initials?
YK.
Okay. Which one you did? Yeah, what you did good pass. People did good pass. Yeah. I think you. No one, none of us. Yeah. I think you showed this as well. Yeah.
YK.
What's your initials? YA. You did show serial skills, but because you're involved. Several! Hey, several! In the next game, we'll see what happens. I'm there. You're dropping the ball because like that. Apart from the I missed. What do you guys think of this? I think you did good pass. Using space. Using a lot of space. We're not serious.
Alright, so now have the discussions. Talk about what have you got to do to get to the next stage of the taxonomy. What have you got to do next?
Right, let's start with him doing again. What do you think he did well? What do you think he did well?
He found space.
He was the one person that scored a goal, and I think he did really well. Goalkeeping's great, but because he can't do it. So what I say, if we do in the next round, I only want Dylan to be in goal once, okay? Because if we see who's improved or something. We're all going to try and get a goal in goal next round. It's handball, so I think all of us can't. None of us are on this stage right now. Yeah, so I think.
So think about what have you got to do now to each look where your initials are. What have you got to do to get to the next level? So what have you got to do to improve?
All of you three, all of us, we have to link skills together. If you did a run and jump, which I know that most people did, link them together, like spin it. Try and lob it over their head. You guys, I think you try and do that as well, but mainly focus on doing more than one skill. And yes, so I would make a point to you: don't be afraid of the ball. Exactly, go for it. But yeah, same with
Jack, you've been using this model in PE to assess yourselves, alright? What is it called and how have you been using it in PE?
This is the solo way to assess ourselves in PE, and it's to do, you write your name wherever you think you are, and you can see what you need to improve on, or maybe what you're doing correctly and what you have to do next.
Alright, can you take us through each poster at a time and tell us what they mean?
Well, the first one means that they don't know much about the sport, and they don't know much about the sport, and they haven't really played it before, and they haven't known it before.
Okay, cool. And what does the next one mean then?
They have one idea about what they're doing, and that's what the one block represents.
Alright, what about the 3? What's the next
That
one?
means they've got several, which means more than one idea about the sport, but they can't really connect them together to try and use them in a full match.
Alright, what's the next one?
That is when they can connect them together. So like it's good to, in handball for example, it's good to outwit your opponent and then get it in, but it's better if you connect them all together to really improve your accuracy and your skills.
Alright, and then the top one?
You can observe people. You can say they're doing this while they're doing this while they need to improve on this, and you can evaluate each other and even
Good.
yourselves.
So how do you think this helps you and the rest of the class within PE lessons?
Well, it helps everyone because you can say, well, I'm on this one at the moment. To do that, I need to have more than one idea. So I'll go back and I might ask people about it, and I'll research it, see where they are, and maybe say what they have to do better and what they're doing really well, so you can hopefully get to the top.
All right, brilliant. Well done. Alright Brooke, you just moved yourself up from the unistructural to the multistructural. Why have you moved yourself from there?
I have moved it because I have demonstrated different types of techniques during the game with accuracy.
Good lad, alright, well done. So what have you got to do now, do you think, to get to the next one?
I need to be able to link it with other shots to move up.
Good lad, well done. Alright Faizi, you've moved from the unistructural to the multistructural. Why have you moved your posting up?
Because I can perform several skills with accuracy.
Alright, so what do you need to do then to move on to the relational one next?
I need to link several skills together.
Yeah.
For example, movement with if I'm hitting, I need to link the way the speed I'm hitting at and
Mohamedou, come over here. Alright Mohamedou, I've just seen you move from the unistructural to the multistructural. Why have you done that?
because I can demonstrate three or more skills during the match.
And what skills did you demonstrate then?
I can do a serve, I can do a volley, and I can do a set.
Good, alright, so you're on to the multistructural now. What have you got to do to get to the next one, the relational?
I've got to link the skills into a game and perform them successfully and consistently.
Alright, real one, what's this sheet that you've been using in today's lesson and how does it help you?
It's a Solo Taxonomy sheet, and we just use it to basically see our progress throughout the lesson, so we can see the different barriers of the things that we have to learn by the end of the lesson. So it just scaffolds the different parts that we need to learn over the amount of time. So as you can see here, at the start of the lesson I didn't know anything about energy balance or the 4 major components of energy output, but as it got over to a time, so after 15 minutes, I was able to explain energy balance, and then after that, after 5 minutes, I was able to explain several major components of energy output, and at 2:40 I could explain energy balance and how it's affected by changes in the 4 major components of energy output, and by the end I achieved the whole lesson objective.
Alright, and how does this help you then, or what do you think the benefit of it is to you within PE?
Because it sets targets, so it shows you what you're it sets targets, so you have in your mind what you want to leave with at the end of the lesson. So everybody wants to leave at the lesson having the bottom, having in mind knowing everything, but especially the bottom. That's everybody's target by the end of the lesson. And as you progress, you see what you've gained, the knowledge that you've gained as you progress. So during any time of the lesson, at the start of the lesson, we write where we are on the taxonomy sheet, and then any time of the lesson we feel that we've ticked the box, we write down where we are at the time.
Alright guys, you've just moved your sticker again. Why have you moved your sticker?
We moved our sticker because we had to evaluate what they were doing and look at it and see how they could improve it.
Alright, and what did you suggest for them to improve?
They should do it like at the same time, because one of them was spelling before and then one after, and it wasn't together and it didn't look like very good.
Alright, can you just tell me what you've done and why you've moved your post-it note and wrote the time on it there? What is it that you're doing?
I did that because I moved my post-it note one level higher, because I think I can do a short sequence in trampolining, including the backdrop, the C drop.
Alright, good. And girls, how do you think like this model helps you in PE? How does it help you?
It helps us to see where we are. I'd like to say that.
Alright, so it helps you to see where you are, so how does that help you?
And how we're making progress. And we can see where we're at, and we know what we need to what our target is next time we're going.
And do you think this is a good way of progressing then in PE? Good. Alright, well done.
After visiting Chobham Academy recently and looking at how they use Solo Taxonomy in both theory and practical lessons, we decided to take that innovative approach back into our own academy to look at how we can integrate that into our lessons. Using it recently in a few Key Stage 3 lessons, badminton and within fitness, the students were able to grasp immediately how much progress they were able to make from the start of the lesson to the end of the lesson by measuring across the various strands the variety of understanding and knowledge that they had, and be able to reference that at various points in the lesson.
I've been using Solo in my practical PE lessons to really engage the students, and I'd like to say a big thank you to Cobham Academy and Ben Leonard, who's supported me from Cobham in just really thinking about how to use it. And one of the main things was to just simplify how it was shown to the students. So just by having the images just up on the wall and having the students use the post-it notes to check their progress and always relating it back to learning objectives, it's made a huge impact on the things I'm doing in my lessons.